If your loved one was cremated, does that mean God can't raise them at the resurrection? And did your decision, whether financial or personal, did that change their eternity? The answer may surprise you. Y'all know what time it is. Saints, stand up. The city's watching.
We walk different, kingdom in the soul, got the glow with it. Armor on heavy, but the robe fitted. Oil in my steps, so I slide through the pressure. Grip with the grace, every move is measured. This ain't hype, it's holy. Still riding clean, but my spirit stay low-key. Lying in my chest when the dark start pressing. Word in my mouth, that's a real loaded weapon. Not here for the likes or the clicks, I'm called. Fire in my bones, I can't fake with y'all. From the block to the booth, let the truth be known. Saints in the city, we don't stand alone.
What's up, Saints? I'm your boy, Pastor Rod, and welcome to Saints in the City. Listen, if this is your first time here, I want you to do me a favor. Hit that like button, the share button, and become a part of our family by hitting the subscribe button. Over here, we don't call you subscribers. We call you a part of our Sick With It family, S-I-C, for Saints in the City. So go ahead on and hit that link, hit the subscribe button, and join our family. So let's talk about it. You know, we're living in a time where everything is expensive. Cost of eggs continue to go up, groceries continue to skyrocket, and then gas prices, well, they're up and down. So unfortunately, when the time comes, which the Bible tells us it's appointed once for man to die and then the judgment. So, but some people they're not prepared. You know how many posts I see? Unfortunately, somebody has passed away unexpectedly, and then you see this GoFundMe. Well, that's because a lot of people, they don't expect it. And not saying you live your life in fear, but the reality is one day we're all going to die. So, but when that happens, then it's like, oh my gosh, so-and-so didn't have life insurance. Oh my gosh, we don't have money. I mean, the bills are expensive. Everything is due. The hospital, they keep pressuring. They was pressuring us. So you guys come to the conclusion to cremate. You're going to have to cremate because funeral costs are $10,000, $15,000 and you just don't have that money. So you cremate this person. And then you start wondering years later, oh my gosh, have I messed up God's plan? Oh my gosh, will my loved one be able to rise on that last day? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get to the truth. I'm going to be straight with you because you'll be surprised what the truth actually is. In the Bible, we don't see nobody righteous cremating anybody. Only cremations we see are from unbelievers. So does that mean it's a sin, or maybe God was trying to tell us something, that he can't raise up a body that's ashes now? Stick around. Let's find out. So let's get into this. Because before we talk about cremation, we got to talk about something bigger. That is the God who made us. First off, the first place we're going to go is Genesis chapter 3 and verse 19. And I love this verse because it cuts straight through all of the fear and the superstition that a lot of us build up in our heads. This verse says, "For you are dust, and to dust you shall return." Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? That's God talking. That ain't me talking. That's not a theologian, not a funeral director. God. What did he say? He said, you are dust, and dust you will return. So whether a body returns to dust slowly under the ground or quickly through fire, it still ends up the same way. That's right, dust. So the real question isn't, well, how did the body return to dust? No, the real question is, can God handle dust? Yeah. You see, and if he made Adam out of dust the first time, well, why would he struggle to raise someone from dust the second time? And this is where we begin, not with fear. No, not with tradition, but with God, who has never once been limited by what we become after we die. I think people really forget. The Bible never says God needs our earthly bodies preserved to raise us up. It don't, nowhere. I want you to think about it like this. Most Christians who died 2,000 years ago, y'all, ain't nothing left. Nothing left. No casket, no bones, no DNA kit, just dust. And yet, we don't question whether they could be resurrected. Now, do we? I want you to let that sink in. Paul, he's been dead 2,000 years, just almost. And all the other people, there's no trace of them. They're dust. So why do we panic when the dust comes through fire instead of time? Because either way, it's happening. You see, the method of returning doesn't change the God who raises. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15. I love this. This is the resurrection chapter. Paul drops a revelation right here that shuts this whole debate down, ladies and gentlemen. And what we're going to do, we're going to read this slow. What you sow does not come to life unless it dies. It is sown a natural body. It is raised a spiritual body. Paul is telling us flat out, the body that goes in the ground or the fire is not the body that raises up by God. The natural body goes down. The spiritual body comes up. Ooh. In other words, cremation ain't going to stop the resurrection, because the resurrection isn't about rebuilding the old body. It's about transforming you into a new one. God is not recycling some old nasty flesh. He's resurrecting purpose. Now, if God can raise believers eaten by animals, believers lost at sea, believers burned in persecution, believers buried so long they've completely returned to the soil, then tell me, why would cremation be the one scenario that stops him? Like he's like, huh? Oh, ashes. I don't know what to do with ashes. You think ashes confuses the Almighty, huh? Let that sit in, family. You see, God is not intimidated by what your body became. He is the God who calls things that are not as though they already were. So let me bring this home to you, saints. Because after all of the questions, all of the debates, all of the fear, here's the real truth. God does not lose what belonged to him. If you belong to him, you belong to him. Cremation ain't going to stop the resurrection. Burial ain't going to guarantee a resurrection. The only thing that determines resurrection is whether your name is written in the Lamb's book of life. And hear me out. Your loved one is not beyond reach. Their ashes are not beyond his power. Their memory is not beyond his promise. If God could call Lazarus out of a tomb, if he could call, watch this, Ezekiel's dry bones back together, if he could raise Jesus from a sealed grave, trust me, fire ain't stopping him. So release the fear, release the guilt, release the what ifs. Let me tell you something. God is bigger than the way somebody left this earth. When Jesus returns, he won't be checking burial policies. He's calling names, and every saint buried, burned, lost at sea, dust in the wind is going to rise at his voice. The world is loud, but the saints still got to see. This is Saints in the City, where we don't fold, we fight different.
This ain't hype, it's holy. Still riding clean, but my spirit stay low-key. Lying in my chest when the dark start pressing.